Antarctica lost 3 trillion tons of ice in 25 years. The speed at which the ice melts in Antarctica is increasing rapidly and the sea level is rising, causing scientists to worry about the future Earth's environment. The team of more than 80 international scientists used satellite data to calculate the amount of ice from 1992 to 2017, Science Alert reported on June 13. As a result, about 3 trillion tons of ice has melted, and global sea levels have risen by 7.6 millimeters. The rate of ice melting is also increasing rapidly during this period. Before 2012, the amount of ice melt was almost stable at about 76 billion tons and caused the sea level to increase by 0.2 millimeters per year. But then, this speed increased dramatically. Between 2012 and 2017, Antarctica lost 219 billion tons of ice each year and pushed sea level rise by 0.6 millimeters. The amount of ice melting in Antarctica has increased dramatically in the last decade. The continent is also causing sea levels to rise now faster than at any time in the last 25 years, said Andrew Shepard, a scientist at the University of Leeds, said. Most of the ice melt originates from West Antarctica, especially the Pine Island and Thwaites glaciers. The collapse of the ice shelf in the Antarctic Peninsula also played a large part. Global sea levels could rise by up to 58 m if all the Antarctic ice were to melt. The amount of ice lost today is very small compared to the total mass, but the increase in the rate of ice melting based on satellite observations has scientists worried. The new discovery is part of a series of 5 studies looking at environmental change in Antarctica and its surrounding waters. In it, the study co-authored by Steve Rintoul, an oceanographer and climate scientist at the Australian Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation, XRO, shows a scenario of Antarctica in 2070 in 2 cases. The first case is that greenhouse gas emissions continue to be as high as they are today, and the other case is that people curb carbon pollution. We chose 2070 because the consequences of each case become apparent after 50 years. In addition, more than half of the global population today will still be alive until 2070, explains Rintoul. According to calculations, if carbon emissions increase and people do not take environmental protection measures in Antarctica, the global air temperature will increase by nearly 3.5 degrees Celsius compared to 1850, and sea levels will rise. Average 10 to 15 millimeters per year. More seriously, sea levels could rise by up to 10 m in the next millennium and by more than 50 m in 10,000 years. About 80% of the increase in sea water comes from melting Antarctic ice. The world will avoid this scenario if it actively protects the environment. According to the team, efforts over the next 10 years play a key role in making the latter scenario happen. At that time, the Antarctic ice shelves remained intact and only caused sea levels to rise by about 0.5 m by 2070.